My brother practiced Buddhism for a long time and still does every now and again. And when I say practice, meditation, chanting daily, just good. So I was quite fascinated by it, quite interested in it. And it was something that actually I did quite a lot through my career, in terms of visualization, manifestation, goal setting. I'll put it out there. I'm not a huge fan. I completely respect it. I'm not a huge fan of organized religion. So I was kind of like, when my brother was going, you need to come along and find out. I was like, I don't know if it's for me. So anyway, I did in the end. And I started by reading this book. And it's, it's about a guy who no one would realize it practices Buddhism. He's just a guy who goes to the pub, he smokes, he drinks, he's just a good guy. And then they actually start talking to him and understanding more about his life and realizing how much value he's got to add to other people. And it's a brilliant book. It's just about this, his journey, about someone going in and talking to him regularly and finding him fascinating. And it just, I read a lot of it and thought, actually, yes, this makes a lot of sense. So yeah, it was something I've been involved in for a while on and off, not the organized side of it, but the way it's the way it is, and it's not monks sitting there in silence. It's Buddhism for the modern day world, and cause and effect, karmic retribution, karma. The more good you put into the universe, the more you'll get. The law of attraction, and the Buddhists call it the mystic law of the universe. But for me, whenever you can read any self-development or self-improvement book, and they always say the same things. It's about what you put out, what you put in, you get back. If you are giving positivity to people, if you are helping people, if you have altruistic intentions and it's not for your own ego, eventually when you need it, you're going to get it back. And it makes sense to me. I try and teach to my kids now about being kind, about having compassion for people, respecting people, that everyone's been on a journey, that you see some people and it's really easy to judge, but try not to be judgmental. That's something I still work on now. And I try, and often when I realise, but it's about being self-aware enough to realise you're being judgmental. So, without getting too deep, because it's probably
that's so interesting, really interesting.
Yeah, we could talk about it for hours. But the Buddhist view of things about the more struggle you've been through, the more tough, the more hard times, the more potential for beauty. There's still, even through the darkness, there can still be light at the end of the tunnel. And I look at that. And when I relate it to our team or football, some of them guys have been through really tough times. Some of these guys come from really tough backgrounds, and it's about trying to allow them to flourish and reach their potential. And it's about maximizing potential through being a good human being. That is the bottom line. So it's not about relying on any person. It's about, and when Buddhists chant or meditate, about trying to switch off and be really present with yourself, with what's around you. But also you're allowed to have dreams, you're allowed to have wishes, you're allowed to have thoughts, and taking time to think about them and really visualize them. And it's something I talk about to our players a lot, about visualization, about making sure you know what you want or where you want to get to, and then trying to make that happen. Manifestation is huge. The old thing about Jim Carrey, wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and then
is that right?
4 or 5 years later, he got a $10 million check for the mask. So, I really believe in that stuff. And I read a lot about different things, and you're always working out different stuff. But it's something I'm really interested in. It's about people, and it's about trying to have as many good intentions as possible. I think I don't use anything I think the minute you rely on something or need something, it becomes a problem. So it's something I enjoy doing. It's something I like. If I don't do it, I don't do it. If I do, brilliant. But it's been about aware and trying to stick to certain values that I'm really comfortable with.